today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
She went from school counselor
I do not want to talk about the damn medication
to living in an RV.
She's destroyed that.
Totally.
Her family says she's become
I am speaking.
a different person.
You fell in the ditch?
She fell in the ditch.
She pushed me because I had custody of her son. He was a part of my family.
My son has never been a part of your family.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Well, Shayla was married. She was a mother of 2 and working a rewarding job as a school counselor after getting her master's degree from a prestigious university. But Shayla says everything suddenly changed 4 years ago when she walked into the hospital with what she believed was food poisoning after eating a burger. Now, her mother, Sandra, sister Sarah, and stepfather Bobby all say Shayla started to exhibit strange behavior soon after. She would get up at night pulling weeds, I'm talking middle of the night, pouring flour on her kitchen floor, explaining it was a way to get rid of dust. It's just the beginning. Take a look.
4 years ago, I was eating a hamburger and vomited and could not stop vomiting. I went to the hospital and they realized I had to have my gallbladder removed.
She's never been the same. She has become a completely different person.
There has not been one doctor that agrees with you. Not one.
Her behavior is just absolutely bad-natured. I mean, just mean.
I really feel like almost that she's possessed by a demon.
You are not being honest.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
I don't know what they say about me. I don't know who they're speaking about.
She's completely irrational, paranoid. Her behavior is off the wall.
All I can hear is her just yelling, screaming. I can't take it. Maybe you can, but I can't.
Everybody thinks that I have changed, but I have not changed.
Shayla had a great career. She was a counselor. These days, she does not act like the daughter I once had.
She'll get mad just to tear her computer apart, throw her phone on the ground, and smash it with a hammer. I mean, just out of control.
She gets up in the middle of the night and mows the grass, cuts the bushes, pulls weeds.
No. I don't even live around any bushes or trees.
Another time, she poured milk all over the garage.
Yes, I did pour 60 cans of Pediasure in the garage. It also worked out in my behalf because every bug was attracted to it. I took a water hose and cleaned it all out.
My daughter has claimed that she sees things that other people don't see. She has said that she sees faces in trees.
I can make different parts of our earth look like life. Yes.
Stay out of whatever a doctor does because that is a doctor's order, not yours.
Well, her mother, Sandra, and sister Sarah claim something else must have happened during this time, but they don't have any idea what. They say Shayla even lost her 2 children due to her antics. Her teen daughter was emancipated, and her 8-year-old son currently lives with her mother. So at this point, everybody wants to know the answer to this question. What exactly is going on with Shayla?
Shayla's entire world completely fell apart. She was no longer able to work and had to resign from her job. Child Protective Services got involved. Her daughter was emancipated and her son lives with his father and also spends time at our home.
I do not feel like, when it comes to my children, that I have not ever made a mistake. I believe that if I were to say that as a parent, that I would look like a complete dumbass. Oh my God.
couldn't pay any bills. We paid her bills. She was finally evicted from her home. It's heartbreaking.
When I look at what she does and how she acts,
What is wrong with your mind, and why do you not believe anything I say or believe any doctor that I've ever been to?
I feel like she's crazy.
You took the darn. So back to that conversation. Let's not get off track, please.
It's hard to be around her.
You know what, Mom? That is what you believe.
It's the
That
truth.
is why
I think she's a ticking time bomb.
you are the one that can't get it through your thick head. And I've had plenty of psychologicals, and I do not want to sit here and talk about the damn medication.
She's hit Sandra with her fist in the head numerous times.
Once during her temper tantrums at my home, she actually pinned me down.
I was accused of putting my mother in a chokehold. I didn't. I restrained her arms, and I'm not certified in restraining.
I heard Sandra hollering, Bobby. I just had to get her off. I just reacted, and I just shoved Shayla away. At this point, Shayla's not welcome at our home. We're at our wits' end now.
At this point, I don't know what to do.
Okay, it's good to meet you. You say you think that she's a ticking time bomb. What do you mean?
We don't know what she's going to do or when. You have a conversation, and you don't know if she's fixed to explode, if she's going to get mad, how she's going to take it. And you're walking on eggshells when you talk to her.
And I don't know her and did not know her in the past, so this is dramatically different than who she was in the years past, right?
Yes, sir, it is. It's totally different.
Okay, so what was she like before this change of events? We see pictures of her, and she looked happy, she looked calm.
She was a good mother. She took good care of her kids.
Would you consider her to have been a happy person?
Yes, very happy. And
you say no?
No, absolutely not. She's always been miserable. I think it was her either 10th or 12th birthday party of her granddaughter. She came in there and had a big fit, spit in my face, slapped me. And this is on her 10th or 12th birthday. This is her child's birthday party.
So that would have been 7 years ago.
Yeah. Well,
So
yeah,
2013 would have been 4 years ago, so this was 7 years ago.
Yeah, her anger and her deceit goes way back.
So you're saying she's kind of taking a Pollyanna view at this, that it was really worse than what she wants to remember.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's like, oh, no, Shayla's not coming over. Please.
Okay.
You know,
yeah, okay.
No, please, no.
All right, so what we're seeing now that we weren't seeing before, I mean, let's talk about some of these behaviors. She's poured flour and milk on the floor for different reasons. Flour to get rid of dust, milk to get rid of what?
Bugs.
Bugs. She gets up in the middle of the night and goes outside and trims bushes and pulled weeds.
Yes,
which
that was
is,
4 years ago when it all started.
Okay. She has accused the family of putting monitors in the home.
Yes,
She's been banned from the school.
from 2 schools.
And one of the RV parks that we were going to put on her trailer, she got kicked off before she moved in.
And this RV you're talking about, she's destroyed that.
No.
Totally 2 times.
Okay, and you can see the pictures here, and this is just destroyed because it was in good shape before.
We totally redid it.
Complains about electrical currents because she thinks this is in some way to access or monitor her.
Especially in the RV, she says it's surrounded by electricity.
It goes back before that.
Okay, how so?
When the first time we had CPS involved, she was in an apartment. We came to her apartment, she had all the light switches, plates off, all the plug plates off, the sconce light off the wall, hanging out in every room.
And what was her explanation?
God, if I know.
And
Some kind of electrical goomy or heebie-jeebie or I don't know what the heck you call
She
it.
says she sees things in nature that others don't see.
Yes.
And she accuses people of stealing her things, including Adderall, refuses to get a job, says everyone is mean and lies to her, and she blames you
for all of it.
for every bad event in her
Everything
life.
is my fault.
Okay, now she's experimented with marijuana, cocaine, and LSD as a teen and meth as an adult, correct?
Right.
Now, we're going to talk to Shayla next, and we're going to find out why she blames her mother for everything that's going on.
My mother has given me nothing.
Had I not stepped in and taken care of my daughter, she would have been on the street for the last 4 years. I finally decided to buy her an RV to temporarily live in.
She just absolutely destroyed this RV. It literally looks like a bomb went off in there.
And later, and you think that your mother enables her.
Am I enabling? Can you enable mental illness? How is that your problem?
Are you mailing her cigarettes every day?
I mail her 6 cigarettes a day.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
My mom is dishonest, overbearing, drama-filled.
Their mother moved across the country.
These guys are telling me that you abandoned them.
They made the choice to live with their father.
How does a 2-year-old make a choice?
You weren't 2, you were 3.
Now she wants forgiveness.
Did you pull up on the lawn offering to fight with his fiance?
I did not pull up on the lawn. I pulled up in the parking lot.
That's tomorrow.
In the past, Shayla and I have always been very close.
Shayla is destroying that relationship between her and her mother. I hate to say it, but it's a dread to see her coming now.
Shayla has ruined my life. What she does and how she acts absolutely makes no sense.
You are the one that can't get it through your thick head.
As her mother, I've grown to resent her.
I think that we're very likely dealing with a mental illness here. And the behavior is so outrageous that it can sound comical when you hear it from the outside looking in, but for the person that's going through it, for the family that's going through it, it's anything but comical. It can be absolutely heartbreaking. The substance abuse and mental health estimates are now that 20% of the population is mentally ill sometime during a year. And that's 50 million Americans. For example, everybody in this section stand up. And everybody in this section stand up. Okay, out of this audience here, we're talking about this percentage of people during a year experience some type of mental illness. Okay, everybody can sit down. So I do this type of story, this type of family, as a teaching tool, because I want those of you at home that might be living with something like this to recognize that you might very well be dealing with a mental illness and not someone that just chooses to behave badly. I'm going to ask you to treat this with the dignity and respect that any ill person would deserve. Take a look at this tape.
My mom does like to make up stories about me.
I take care of everything. She's 44 years old with a college degree, and I pay for her clothing, her living, her groceries, her gasoline.
It's a fact that my mother has given me nothing.
I've probably spent close to $100,000. At first, I put her up in a hotel, but it was costing $400 a week. I finally decided to buy her an RV to temporarily live in.
She just absolutely destroyed this RV. Ripped up the ceilings out of it, ripped all the furniture out of it. It literally looks like a bomb went off in there.
I don't touch things like that. I have taken apart a TV one time, a tube TV, and it shocked me so bad I almost went across the room. So I don't mess with stuff like that.
Had I not stepped in and taken care of my daughter, she would have been on the street for the last 4 years.
What I need is my aura. I need for it to be completed. Who does that include? Mainly myself, my daughter, my son. What I want from Dr. Phil is clarification. If I do not belong and I am cut, please let me know the truth.
How are you today?
I am as best as can be. How about yourself, sir?
Well, I'm hanging in there.
Good, good.
How's your life working for you? How are things going?
I've had issues with my parents. I've had plenty of issues with my family. And for the first time, I have had my children missing out of my life, which is an extremely, extremely important part of my life. Mm-hmm. So,
but you dropped your sons off at our front door, though, right?
I will answer that for you. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome. Shayla, the answer.
I brought my son there And I brought him there for one purpose and one purpose only.
And what?
And that is because
You couldn't take care of him.
absolutely not. I'm sorry, but I am speaking, and I would like for you to allow me.
You did not.
Well, let her answer. Let her answer.
Go ahead.
I brought my son to your door because he is crying and saying, Mom, well, everyone at the school says that you use drugs, that you are, and I don't even know what drugs are.
Do you have either of your children with you? Are they in your custody and control at this point?
No, no, actually.
Are you employed at this point?
No, I am not.
Okay, so your children aren't with you and you're not employed. How do you spend your time?
Washing clothes at a washateria, which I don't ever do. I have not ever done in my life. It takes up a lot of time. Doing as they request for me to do.
Well, let's forget about that
and
for a minute.
looking for a job in which I have not been able to acquire.
You seem really kind of angry.
Absolutely, sir. You're correct, 100%.
Tell me why you think that is.
Because for 5 years, they have involved Child Protective Services. They have called Child Protective Services.
Is everything about them?
Well, I also have a ex-husband.
You're 44, right?
Yes.
You know, you're an adult and you have the freedom to choose who you want in your life and who you don't. An adult, you can do what you want to do.
Yes, you're right. If I would have known that people could come in and be so phony and be so fake and offer such dissatisfaction, I would have never allowed these two people into my home, including my sister.
Okay, well, Shayla says there is a fine line between love and hate with the sister that she just mentioned, Sarah. So I want to add her to the conversation, and then we'll move forward. But let's take a break right quick.
I just finally got to a point with Shayla where I just had enough. I had to completely cut her out of mine and my children's life. My mom completely enables Shayla. I do believe that my sister has a lot of issues, but I also blame my mom for fueling the fire.
And later...
Oh, I've heard enough. Believe me.
My son has never been a part of your family.
Oh, my.
What my daughter needs is to realize that all the things that have happened are her own fault.
For me, I want complete wellness, physical well-being. I do not want to be harassed. I need to be able to live in an environment that's tolerable. I want to be the Shayla that I know.
If you ask me, Shayla needs psychological evaluations. Her reality is very distorted. There has to be a line drawn in the sand. Her path of destruction has come to an end.
Shayla's younger sister, Sarah, says she has no desire to enable or be around what she calls her sister's crazy behavior. Take a look.
My sister has lost her mind. She's a crazy, self-centered, mean narcissist. Growing up, everything was always about my older sister, Shayla. If things don't go her way, it's always a big ordeal.
When it comes to my sister, Sarah, I believe that there is a very fine line between love and hate.
She's all about the drama and making things about her. When I was a freshman in high school and she was a senior, if I would see her in the hallway, she wouldn't even acknowledge me. I just finally got to a point with Shayla where I just had enough and I just couldn't do it anymore. I had to completely cut her out of mine and my children's life.
Sarah does not call me, and I do not call her.
My mom completely enables Shayla.
She's my daughter, and I care about her.
But you're enabling her to keep on doing the things that she does. Anytime that my sister calls and tells my mom she needs something, my mom completely caves. No backbone.
If Shayla were a drug addict, I would feel like I enabled her.
My mother even mails my sister cigarettes every single day.
The reason that I do that is so she won't ask the other residents for money and cigarettes.
I think that that's completely insane. I do believe believe that my sister has a lot of issues, but I also blame my mom for fueling the fire. I do miss having a relationship with her. I just don't know if it's possible.
Sarah, thanks for coming. I'm glad you're here.
Thanks for having us.
Do you miss a relationship with your sister?
Absolutely.
Yeah. But you don't have much to do with her now.
No.
Shayla, do you miss your sister?
I will tell you.
Do you miss your sister?
I miss having a. When we speak about when I left home when I went to graduate school.
Is that yes or no? Do you miss your sister?
Do I miss my sister?
Yeah. That's not an essay question.
If it
do you
is
miss your
going
sister?
to affect my children, I do not miss my sister. If these things,
stop,
my
stop.
mother,
Hold
them,
it.
my sister, affect
I'm just
my children,
asking
I
you.
don't miss them.
I'm just asking you
They're more important.
personally. Do you miss your sister? Yes or no? You do or you don't?
My sister has done a lot of things to make me angry. I truly haven't ever really had a relationship with my sister. I've been away from home for so long.
Okay. So
I don't truly have one to miss.
Okay, would that be a no then?
But I love her very, very, very much.
And you think that your mother enables her and makes it easy for her to continue to behave in a self-destructive way?
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%.
Are you guilty?
I would say I have been guilty. If it's a mental illness and she can't help it, then am I enabling? Can you enable mental illness?
How is that your problem?
Are you mailing her cigarettes every day?
I mail her 6 cigarettes a day.
You mail her 6 cigarettes a day?
Yes.
To keep her from begging and knocking on the doors of the
But you're sitting here saying that it's old people that are on a fixed income. What do you think you are?
Oh, yeah.
Because you say she's done nothing for you.
For the last 4 years or more.
There has been more problems. Now, I truly need to understand why I have had psychological after psychological after psychological for many, many years since my 20s. The only diagnosis I have is ADHD and ADD. So if I am off, if I get off task, if I am unable to focus and answer you properly, I am not on my medication, and I will tell you right now that is what my diagnosis is.
If you were on your medication, you'd be even more wound up than you are right now.
How often have you been around me?
Oh, I've heard enough. Believe me.
Because you listen to what?
Yourself.
When do I
The last time I was around you, you threw me down on the ground.
You fell in the ditch?
She fell in the ditch trying to get me
You got pushed in the ditch?
Yes. Because I had custody of her son through CPS at the time.
You did not.
Oh, my. He was a part of my family at that time, and you...
My son has never been a part of your family, nor have you talked to him, and exactly why CPS took him from you two and put him with a father that he doesn't even need to be with.
Okay,
this is what we hear all the time.
Okay.
This is what we hear all the time.
I got it. Listen, I didn't just come in on a load of turnips, okay?
Thank you.
I got it.
Thank you.
I got it. I appreciate you pointing it out to me, though. You have this RV that you stripped down inside.
The space is so small. I wanted to remove the doors.
Because you felt that you were being monitored?
Things are so bad with my daughter that she showed up at the school her son attends, screaming at the staff, swinging doors open and almost hitting children.
She created such a ruckus that they threw her off the campus.
I think the school has made a lot of mistakes. I have no idea why they create the excuses that they have created to ban me from my son's school.
Do you think that your exchange with your sister just now was a reasonable, rational communication?
Absolutely not. But what I will not tolerate, sir, are misconfigured facts, misconfigured opinions, or lies.
You engage others in really combative exchanges, but I don't engage that way. CPS that I've worked with for 45 years does not take a child from their mother because of someone else's conduct.
CPS did not do that. They do.
Oh, my.
Okay, your child's not with you because they make a determination that he's better off somewhere else.
That's not a CPS decision. It's their decision, and they will not follow a court order.
Shayla, that's not true.
Let me tell you, I'm the least judgmental person I've ever met. I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's somebody out there that's different than that, but I've formed some opinions of you based on reading your pre-interviews, watching videotape, and listening to you right now. And I'll tell you what I think and see. You're obviously very intelligent. You have a really big vocabulary, and you're obviously very well educated. So that means you have some great assets in life.
Absolutely.
You can be self-sustaining and you can do well.
Absolutely.
I think, based on what I've seen so far, that you're getting in your own way. And I think that you're seeing the world in a way that's made you be real combative. You kind of go through like you're expecting to be attacked. And I asked you what your accountability was, and because I'm interested in your level of insight. And insight is really critical here. And you know that it is, right?
And it has to do with my children.
I know.
I've spent 5 years continuing being combative over these people that truly did not need to be in my life. I supported my family. Even the father of my son did not work.
Okay.
I said
right.
everything.
Okay, but hang on a second.
Hang on a second. It truly has to do with my
Stay with
children.
me. Stay with me for a second. Read this right here. Read that for me. Read that out loud for me.
The ability to see and understand why you do the things you do. The ability to see oneself without distortion.
And I think that you're really lacking in that right now. You're not really understanding why you do the things you do, because I think you did get sick, right?
I was very sick.
And I don't know. I don't know what happened. And I don't think you do either. You have theories, but you don't know. I look back at your history, and I see that there's this longitudinal history back before 2013 when you got a bad burger and it wound up with gallbladder surgery. But I know before that there were some ups and downs. Now they've become radical. You have this RV that you were provided for temporary housing. I mean, that was a gift, right?
And it's a FEMA trailer. The space is so small that I wanted to remove the doors. I had some curtains hanging up. This is actually pictures of right before I left. It's looked much better than this. This is the worst.
Well, I hope so. Tell me what tearing this panel out of the wall, how does that give you more room?
It's paint.
And it
didn't tear anything out. It's paint. And I wanted that stove removed because it doesn't even work. They won't remove it.
And you've got tape on crevices, and you've removed light bulbs, and you've removed switch plates,
right,
and things because you felt that you were being monitored?
No, I do not feel that I am being monitored.
Have you taken light bulbs out of your house?
Home for? Are you talking about the FEMA trailer?
How many cars have you totaled, sister?
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil.
Their mother left when they were kids.
These guys say you abandoned them.
They chose to live with their father.
How does a 2-year-old make a choice?
You weren't 2, you were 3.
That's tomorrow.
I'm terrified what our next move may be. My nightmare is this will never end.
I don't feel that my daughter would harm herself. She really likes herself, but I'm afraid that her bad judgment will get her into a situation where she will be harmed.
You are not being honest.
Yes, I am.
My fear is if she doesn't get help right now, she's probably going to die.
Have you taken light bulbs out of your house?
Have I taken, like, in my recent homes in which I paid $1,150 and $1,300 a month for? Or are you talking about the FEMA trailer?
It doesn't matter where you
The
take it
FEMA
out.
trailer, the light bulbs, the stationary ones, they did come out. And why? Because water is leaking out through of them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how safe is that when water is coming through those light
How
fixtures?
safe is it driving in a car that you cut the seatbelts out of?
You know what?
I'm just
How
asking.
safe is it when the car was paid for?
Well, wait a
and
minute.
then I get, and then people
Well,
say, I can't even sell my car.
Stop.
And how safe is it when you have a DWI, but you think you can attain 4 children and you just had a DWI and you totaled your whatever it is
I
that
don't
you
have a DWI, so you need to get your facts straight,
because
sister.
now it's over.
How many cars have you totaled, sister?
Well, not ever, because I was drinking and driving.
Oh, no, because you were high. I'm sorry.
So you don't acknowledge that there's any time in your life that you feel like you've been monitored or had to...
Let me tell you this. If you want to use monitor, the best words that I can tell for you, Dr. Phil, is that I grew up with a mother that knows everything you ever do. And I have not ever in my life until the last 5 years ever had to feel such pain come from a mom who does not believe in me, because I gave my mother everything she ever asked for and did everything my mother ever wanted out of me. And my mother used to know how to love me and how to trust the words that I spoke. And all of a sudden, at this point, she does not want to believe a word I speak.
Okay, that's a great 4th of July speech, but doesn't have a damn thing to do with what I asked you.
Well, if that's the kind of monitoring you're talking about, if you knew my mom, my mom will know.
Okay, you've come here today. Do you want to be right, or do you really want to have a chance to change the course of your life? Because you've acknowledged it's not working. You're not employed, you don't have your son, you're not getting along with anybody, and you don't have anything moving in the direction you want it to be moved in.
No.
And I'm here to change that. Now, you either want to yell and argue and be a right fighter, or you want to change the trajectory of your life, one of the two. But you're smart enough to know what I'm telling you, and that is that your life isn't working and you need to change it.
I've known that, and I have been asking for that.
All right, so we're going to take a break. We're going to take a break. You can yell during the break, but not while we're here. We're going to come back. I'm going to talk to Shayla, and we're going to find out whether or not there are some things we can do to change the trajectory of what's going on here. I'm going to tell you why I think we got where we are and why she's approaching life the way she's approaching it right now. We'll be right back. Do you know the biggest enabler of the century? If you want them to get a seat on our stage, be sure to log on to drphil.com and click Be on the Show, or text Phil to 88500. We want to hear all about it. You're going to be in the Los Angeles area and want to watch a live taping of the Dr. Phil Show? Call 323-461-PHIL or visit drphil.com. Tickets are free, and I hope to see you soon.
When it comes to Shayla, I do feel like she's just a big bully.
Bottom line, I'm not a bully.
A few years ago, she didn't get her way, and she physically threw me down to the ground.
One time we were in the car and she grabbed me by my hair and started yanking it. Just last week, she spit in my face twice and hit me in the head.
It's assault, yeah. She's going to be arrested for it.
What they need to know is they need to get off my back.
You present in a way that is unfocused and all over the chart.
And I apologize.
I mean,
I do. My diagnosis is ADHD, ADD. So
I'm not much on labels, but I know you're like trying to nail Jello to the wall.
I'm just telling you, and I apologize.
It's hard
and this
to get you to focus on.
This is new for me, so I offer my apology.
I accept it. What I want you to do is recognize that the only person you control is you.
Absolutely.
You don't control her, you don't control him, you don't control her, you control you. And right now, you have such a combative way of engaging the world that everyone is going to turn away from you. Nobody's going to want to be around somebody that is so prickly. You're like hugging a porcupine. I mean, you're yelling and screaming and combative all the time. And I know you've taken drugs throughout the course of your life on occasion. I don't think you're a drug user now. But for some people, if you take meth even a single time, if you do cocaine, whatever, sometimes it can affect our brain in a significant way that has to be unraveled. I don't know, you say you're ADHD. I don't know whether you are or whether you aren't, because I can't diagnose you sitting here talking to you now. But I know that I believe that there is some type of mental illness process going on with you, and that needs to be dealt with. And this gentleman right here is Dr. Kaligi, very good friend of mine and a man with whom I have the greatest respect. He is the founder of a place called Creative Care, and it's a premier treatment center. It's in Calabasas, and they specialize in mental health. And you talk about a customized, specialized, multimodal treatment center. These are the guys that are the best. This is a very treatable situation. Would you agree, Doctor?
Most definitely. Like you said, I think the first thing we do is a full assessment, evaluation, find out what's going on with you. Hopefully we can get your cooperation to take some medications, make a relationship with you so we can work together to see how and when you can get back on track. You have been super productive, you've been educated. I think that has come in your way right now. That's stopping you from getting better. But I think together we can certainly come up with a program that's going to work for you. It's only 6-bed facility.
Wonderful.
Very, very intimate.
I'm all signed up. I'm ready to go.
We're offering this for you. And, all right. And so, in fact, I'm going to let you and Dr. Kaligi's team right now, I'm going to let you guys go backstage and let him answer your detailed questions and show you everything and answer every question you want. But you have just won the life lottery in terms of what they're getting ready to do for you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Okay?
Appreciate
all right, you go ahead. Shayla's going to go backstage and talk to Dr. Kaligi one-on-one, and I'm going to have a message for her family when we come back. Want to know what's coming up on Dr. Phil? Visit our website and subscribe to our email newsletter. You'll get weekly updates, life strategies, and exclusive video that you won't find anywhere else.
Plus, on drphil.com, you can see sneak previews of upcoming shows. Log on today.
Guys, you see the plan here, right? She needs to be taken out of society at this point because she's so combative. She's going to engage everybody in a combative way, whether it's throwing you in a ditch or punching you in the face or whatever it is, because she's panicked. And I don't know what the diagnosis is going to be, but I know it's going to simply not going to be ADHD, I can tell you that. I suspect that at least part of what's going on with her is something called delusional disorder, persecutory type, and this is a non-schizophrenic individual experiences non-bizarre delusions where the central theme involves the belief that they're being conspired against, cheated, spied on, followed, poisoned, drugged, or obstructed in the pursuit of long-term goals. And you say, well, now, wait a minute, what do you mean non-bizarre? Well, bizarre means like demons coming in, possessing their body, things that are really out there, whereas she is saying normal, everyday things like light bulbs or wall fixtures or whatever are being used to monitor her. And you can see when I made her focus and look me in the eye and cut through all the noise, she was able to hear me and listen. So, are you comfortable with this?
Lifesaver, yes.
All right.
Thank you.
Bobby, you comfortable with this?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
All right. You good with this?
Yeah,
Just
I
go
love
outside.
Dr. Phil.
All right.
I'm a faithful watcher.
That's what I like to hear. All right, I want to thank all of my guests today, and a very special thanks to the founder of Creative Care, Dr. Kaligi, for offering these amazing resources for Shayla's recovery. I wish Shayla and her entire family all the best, especially for the sake of the children. Again, thank all of my guests today. We'll see you next time.
Nice to meet you, sir. Well, thank you for accepting me.
You have a lot of assets. You're very articulate. You're able to speak your mind, and you're very emotional. All of those things are going to work to your benefit.
Wonderful.
We have nurses, we have psychiatrists, we have physicians, we have therapists, a lot of trained people working with you, getting a complete history and trying to find out what has gone wrong and how we're going to turn it around so you can get back on the right track.
I do believe that I'm coming off as a person which is dislikable even to myself.
Right.
And when you dislike things like that about yourself, you're not in a good place.
So we want to diffuse things a little bit. It's time to take the load off and get better.
Thank you.
Okay.